The Symbolism of Evil by Paul Ricoeur is a seminal work in the field of hermeneutics and philosophical exploration of symbols, particularly concerning the concept of evil. Published in 1960, this book delves deeply into the complex relationship between language, symbols, and the human understanding of evil. Ricoeur, a renowned French philosopher, offers a profound and comprehensive analysis of the multifaceted nature of evil and how it is conveyed and comprehended through symbolic language.
Before we dive in, if you find this content valuable, please hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment below. It truly helps us grow. Now, let's get started.
Ricoeur's exploration begins with an examination of the inherent ambiguity and obscurity of the concept of evil. He argues that evil is a multifaceted and elusive concept that resists easy definition. It exists on both an individual and a collective level, and its manifestations can be as subtle as everyday wrongdoing or as extreme as acts of genocide. Ricoeur is concerned with understanding how language and symbols play a role in articulating and conveying the complexity of evil. The book is divided into three main parts, each delving deeper into the intricate layers of symbolism related to evil. Ricoeur's approach is hermeneutic, which means he focuses on the interpretation of texts and symbols to understand their meaning. In this case, he is interpreting the language and symbols used to describe and understand evil in various cultural and religious contexts. The first part of the book, titled The Language of Evil, delves into the linguistic and semantic aspects of evil. Ricoeur explores the ways in which language shapes our understanding of evil and how the words and symbols we use can both clarify and obscure its nature. He argues that language acts as a medium through which humans express their moral experiences and struggles. However, he also recognizes that the very ambiguity and diversity of language concerning evil pose a challenge to any definitive understanding. An instance of the linguistic and semantic complexities in understanding evil can be found in the distinction between sin and crime. While both terms describe wrongful actions, they carry distinct connotations and implications. Sin often has religious and moral undertones, suggesting a transgression against divine or ethical principles. It implies a breach of a higher moral order and invokes a sense of guilt and the need for spiritual reconciliation. Sin is laden with a sense of moral responsibility and a deeper connection to one's conscience. On the other hand, crime is a legal term tied to the violation of societal laws and regulations. It implies a breach of a legal code and invokes consequences that can range from fines to imprisonment. Crime tends to focus on the transgression's impact on society and the need for legal consequences, often excluding the moral or spiritual dimension. This differentiation illustrates how language nuances the understanding of wrongdoing and how various terms are employed in distinct contexts to address the multifaceted nature of evil. Ricoeur's exploration in the language of evil delves into such subtleties, highlighting the intricacies and challenges that language introduces when attempting to define and understand the concept of evil. Ricoeur identifies a tension in the language of evil between moral language, which involves judgments of right and wrong, and mythical language, which employs symbols and narratives to represent the inexplicable aspects of evil. This tension reflects the inherent complexity of the subject matter. He contends that to understand evil fully, we must consider both the moral and mythical aspects of its representation in language. Within the Symbolism of Evil, Ricoeur offers a compelling example of the tension between moral and mythical language in the context of evil. He delves into the biblical narrative of the fall of man in the book of Genesis. This story is not merely a historical account but a potent myth laden with moral and mythical dimensions. In the moral interpretation of this narrative, it is viewed as the disobedience of Adam and Eve, a transgression of divine command, resulting in a moral fall from grace. This interpretation focuses on concepts of guilt, sin, and moral responsibility, embodying the moral dimension of language in relation to evil. However, Ricoeur also explores the mythical dimensions of this same narrative. He reveals how the story of the fall of man is a symbol of a deeper, more elusive aspect of evil, the human struggle with free will, temptation, and the quest for knowledge. The serpent in the Garden of Eden, for instance, represents a mythical and archetypal symbol of seduction and the allure of forbidden knowledge. This example highlights how language, particularly in the context of religious and mythological narratives, encompasses both moral and mythical dimensions, offering a richer and more nuanced understanding of evil. Ricoeur's contention that a comprehensive understanding of evil requires consideration of both these facets underscores the intricate interplay between moral judgments and mythical representations in our interpretation of complex concepts like evil. The second part of the book, titled The Symbolism of Evil, takes a deeper dive into the symbolic representation of evil in various cultural and religious contexts. Ricoeur examines how different cultures and traditions have used symbols, metaphors, and narratives to convey the nature of evil. He explores the symbolic roles of the serpent, the fall of man, and original sin in Christian theology and compares them to other symbolic representations in different belief systems, such as the dualism in Zoroastrianism and the concept of karma in Hinduism. In the second part of the Symbolism of Evil, Paul Ricoeur provides a profound exploration of how different cultural and religious traditions employ symbols to convey the essence of evil. A poignant example from the book is Ricoeur's analysis of the Christian doctrine of original sin and its symbolic implications. Within Christian theology, the concept of original sin finds its roots in the story of Adam and Eve's disobedience in the Garden of Eden. It symbolizes the inherent sinful nature passed down through generations, casting humanity into a state of moral imperfection from birth. This theological concept represents a powerful and enduring symbol of the human condition, marked by a struggle between good and evil, and the need for divine redemption. Ricoeur's examination of original sin reveals how this symbol not only carries a moral weight but also conveys a deeper, existential aspect of human existence. It reflects the mythical dimension of evil, emphasizing the tension between human desires and moral imperfection, as well as the longing for redemption and reconciliation. Comparatively, Ricoeur delves into other religious systems, such as Zoroastrianism's dualistic worldview, which pits the forces of good and evil in eternal conflict, and Hinduism's concept of karma, where actions and consequences shape one's destiny. These belief systems offer distinct symbolic representations of evil, underscoring the book's central theme that symbols play a pivotal role in articulating complex philosophical and moral concepts, transcending the confines of language to communicate universal human experiences. Ricoeur's meticulous analysis of these symbols and the symbolism of evil demonstrates the profound impact of culture and religion on how evil is understood and represented. It emphasizes that symbols serve as a bridge between the abstract and the concrete, offering a tangible means of grappling with the multifaceted and elusive nature of evil across diverse belief systems and traditions. Within the pages of the Symbolism of Evil, Ricoeur thoughtfully delves into the concept of radical evil, a notion that extends beyond individual acts of wrongdoing to encompass systemic and collective manifestations of evil, such as the unspeakable horrors of genocide. An illustrative instance Ricoeur examines is the Holocaust, a grim chapter in human history where the systematic extermination of millions of innocent lives took place under the Nazi regime. The Holocaust embodies a form of radical evil that transcends conventional moral language and ethical frameworks. It represents a shocking rupture in the collective conscience of humanity, where the very idea of moral judgment and comprehension is pushed to its limits. Ricoeur underscores how such monumental tragedies challenge the boundaries of language and morality, as they defy categorization within conventional concepts of wrongdoing and individual responsibility. In the face of radical evil, traditional moral language often falls short, struggling to capture the profound depth of suffering and inhumanity. Ricoeur's exploration of radical evil in the Symbolism of Evil underscores the book's central theme, the intricate and multifaceted nature of evil, its complex interplay with symbols, and the challenge of representing it through language and concepts. It is a stark reminder that the human capacity for malevolence can reach depths that demand new ways of symbolic representation and ethical understanding. In the third part of the Symbolism of Evil, Paul Ricoeur offers an insightful perspective on how symbols of evil influence our moral and philosophical comprehension. An illustrative example that Ricoeur explores is the symbolism of the scapegoat, a concept deeply rooted in religious and cultural narratives. The notion of the scapegoat refers to an individual or group that is unjustly blamed and punished for the sins or wrongdoings of others. This symbolic concept resonates across various cultural and religious traditions, including the biblical account of the Azazel goat in Jewish tradition and the more contemporary notion of scapegoating in societal contexts. Ricoeur examines the tension inherent in the scapegoat symbol. On one hand, it can provide clarity by exposing the unjust nature of blaming innocent individuals. On the other hand, it can mystify moral judgments by shifting responsibility away from the actual wrongdoers. This dual nature of the scapegoat symbol exemplifies the delicate balance between moral and symbolic dimensions of evil. Ricoeur's exploration of the scapegoat and other symbols in evil and symbolism highlights the power of symbols to provoke thought, raise moral questions, and spark reflection. However, it also underscores the potential for symbols to distance us from the immediacy of ethical responsibility. The book encourages readers to grapple with the intricacies of these symbols and their implications on our moral and philosophical understanding of evil, reminding us of the complex interplay between symbols and ethics in our attempts to make sense of the profound and elusive concept of evil. Within the pages of the Symbolism of Evil, Paul Ricoeur consistently underscores the role of interpretation and the hermeneutic circle in unlocking the meaning of symbols of evil. A noteworthy instance that he explores in this context is the symbolism of the mask. Masks are symbolic artifacts present in various cultural, religious, and artistic traditions, often representing hidden identities, deception, or the duality of human nature. Ricoeur examines the interpretive process when encountering the symbol of a mask in relation to evil. On one level, a mask might symbolize the concealment of one's true intentions, reflecting themes of deceit and moral duplicity. Yet, on a deeper level, it may also signify the complexity of human nature and the challenges of understanding the motivations and actions of individuals. Ricoeur's analysis highlights the dynamic process of interpretation, wherein the reader must navigate between understanding the individual symbol, the mask, and the broader concept of evil. This movement between the specific and the universal, he argues, is essential to grasping the intricate and multifaceted nature of symbols and their implications within a moral framework. Interpretation, in Ricoeur's view, is a continual engagement with the symbol and its relation to the broader concept of evil, illustrating the ongoing and evolving nature of our understanding. In the Symbolism of Evil, Paul Ricoeur's philosophical inquiry transcends mere linguistic analysis, delving deep into the profound implications of symbols in our understanding of evil. One compelling example Ricoeur explores is the symbolism of the labyrinth. The labyrinth, often symbolizing a perplexing and intricate maze, serves as a powerful metaphor for the human experience of navigating moral dilemmas, ethical choices, and the complexities of good and evil. Ricoeur contemplates the labyrinth's capacity to represent the inherent entanglement of human existence, where the distinction between right and wrong is not always clear, and the path to moral truth is often intricate and uncertain. Through the symbolism of the labyrinth, Ricoeur illustrates how symbols become a bridge between the human condition and the transcendent. In this case, the labyrinth connects our moral struggles with a broader sense of cosmic order or a divine plan. It serves as a metaphorical pathway for exploring profound questions of ultimate significance, allowing us to engage with the mysteries of existence, morality, and the human experience of evil in a deeper, more contemplative way. Ricoeur's philosophical examination reveals that symbols, like the labyrinth, invite us to transcend the limitations of language and logic, offering a profound means to engage with the ineffable and the transcendent aspects of human existence. In this way, symbols of evil are not merely linguistic constructs but profound conduits for exploring our deepest philosophical and ethical inquiries. In addition to analyzing the role of symbols in understanding evil, Ricoeur touches on the ethical and theological dimensions of the subject. He discusses theodicy, the philosophical inquiry into the problem of evil in a world created by a benevolent deity. He examines how various religious traditions have grappled with this problem, using symbols and narratives to reconcile the existence of evil with the concept of a loving and just God. Ricoeur's approach to theodicy is nuanced. He acknowledges that the problem of evil remains an enduring challenge and that symbols and narratives, while they can provide insight, do not offer definitive solutions. He suggests that the symbolic language of theodicy allows us to engage with the moral and existential questions raised by evil, even if it does not provide easy answers.